What's up, guys? So I thought about doing a quick short video, make something a little fun and interesting besides react content. So we just wrapped up the One Piece live action series, so I thought it'd be fun if I would go through and rank my favorite characters and kind of explain why. But also I want to do this because I want your input on your favorite characters and kind of like how they would rank differently than how I'm placing mine currently. So I'm doing all this on tiermaker.com, and you go there and you just type in like One Piece live action characters, and there'll be all kinds of options. So I came across this one, so you can build your own and then get back to me, or just let me know in the comments of what you disagree or you agree with. I'm gonna have my ranking process. I'm gonna start top to bottom, of course, you know, S tier to D tier, and then left to right on my favorites. I'm just gonna start with Alvida and then go all the way down to Zoro. I think they mapped this out alphabetically, so that was nice of them. Alvida, I so far currently, I don't know how much involved she is in the series. I'm assuming a decent bit later on. I might put her C. I don't think she's horrible or anything. I don't know. I'm probably going to readjust these later on, but I just haven't had much screen time of her yet. So for the moment, I'm going to put her on C because I don't think she was like horrible. Oh, I mean, she's a horrible person, but she kind of helped Koby be in the position where he was to come across Luffy to then really put him on a better path. So I don't know. I might put her to D, but so far she's C. Arlong, I think Arlong is A because I feel like he was a pretty good villain. I know there's much crazier, bigger bad guys, but I feel like out of the whole series, I hated Arlong the most. And that's because he's supposed to be hated the most. He's supposed to be a big villain to despise and just not get along with because he's an asshole. So he passed. His actor did a great job on conveying that. He was a good villain, and I feel like he's a good villain in terms of having justifiable cause based off of his backstory, which I don't know yet, but a lot of people commented that like later on, by like season 7 or something, is when they finally dive into Arlong's backstory and dealing with the slavery and why he acts the way he does. So I feel it's kind of a meaningful background story to be the way he has become, to become the villainous role he has. So I'm gonna have him A tier for now. He's not like amazing to me, but I do like him a good bit. Buggy. If you guys watch my reaction videos, you know by now how I feel about Buggy. But dude, phenomenal actor, very great to play Buggy, and every time he's on screen, just his presence, I was just zoned in on him. I always laugh, like he always made me die laughing and just was cracking up constantly. But he had pretty good range too in terms of just being, you know, the comedic person, but also getting serious and having like serious moments. And I just feel he needs more explored throughout season 2 and everything with backstory, because I'm watching the anime now, so I just watched the episode of his backstory with Shanks and the Devil Fruit, which was pretty cool that the live action didn't dive into. But overall, as an actor and character, S tier. He's probably my favorite character in general for the live action, just because every time he was on screen, my mood changed, like instantly happy. Like I was just glad to have him there.
Hey, a straw hat!
Oh my god, he's back.
Just say it to my face!
Bro, I love Buggy.
Morning, champ! What are you gonna do? Bleed on me?
Oh my god.
Whoa!
Solid acting and solid character. He's just super funny all throughout, and I liked it. And I really like his powers. I think his powers are super awesome. How he has the chop abilities. It's just so cool to see different ways of how he can use it and how he's basically an unkillable person. Like he's unstoppable to an extent, unless you throw all of his parts into containers and stuff. But I do really like him a good bit enough to be S tier, of course. So Garp. At first, I initially thought Garp was a bad guy. Like, I don't know, I just thought he was a bad guy, but actually he's been a good guy this whole time. So I do like Garp I like Garp a lot, and like he's like one of Luffy's mentors, making sure like Luffy's on the right path and he's doing everything Luffy believes he wants to do. So he was like the testing factor throughout the story, just to make sure Luffy knows that Luffy's doing what he wants. So I like Garp a lot, and he's just, you know, he's following the justice system. He's doing what's right, and he wants to have his own freedom still, and he's not being a corrupt guy. So he's dealing with like the corrupt Marines, while also like educating the lower ranks like Helmeppo and Koby, and making sure they're going to be on the right path, and he's going to be upbringing them to become like even better. So I'm excited to see that. But overall, Garp's a real great guy, and he has an appetite, so totally relatable with the appetites. So yeah, so far I'd put him A, because I do like him a lot. Helmeppo grew on me. He grew on me pretty well. I do like him a good bit. I wouldn't say A level, just because there hasn't been a lot yet of him, but with the screen time him and Kobe's had, they've both had great character development and growth. And like Helmeppo is like a pretty nice guy. Like at first he was silly goofball, like my father is gonna sue you, blah blah type of guy, but like he's really came around a good bit, and it's cool to see him and Kobe's like friendship start to grow. So I like, and then he's like kind of like educating Kobe on real world shit. He's like, you may know how to tie a knot, but you have no idea how the real world is. So I like their dynamic relationship with each other, and like how they're growing together in the Marine Force. I would put him as a strong B. I think he's a strong B. Kobe, I was just talking about Kobe with Helmeppo. I'll skip Kaya for a second. I'm gonna put Kobe B at the moment, because I feel like same situation with Helmeppo, but I like Helmeppo more than Kobe at the moment. But I know they're both gonna have even more growth, and like he's gonna have a stronger relationship down the road with Luffy, I assume. So I feel like the ranks are gonna change, obviously, but at the moment, I think he's a good B ranking. He's had some character growth throughout. I mean, he's a Marine now, a cadet, and he's under the wings of Garp. So him and Helmeppo is going to start learning how to be badasses. So maybe by season 2 is going to be a little time jump to where like they're probably seasoned cadets now and kind of know some shit. So I'm excited to see that. But I do like him having his growth from not being so whipped from Alvida and kind of being his own person and having his own say. And he even stood up to Garp. So that's pretty good character development right there. He stood up to Garp, telling Garp no, which is a huge step from like doing whatever Alvida wanted and just listening to her. But and same with Helmeppo. Helmeppo did the same thing, but I just feel Helmeppo had a little more growth because he was more of an asshole than Kobe was. Like in the beginning of the season, he was a jerk big time. So I feel like he was more evil, more of a bad guy. Because Kobe was innocent. Kobe's been a nice guy the whole time. So I feel like Helmeppo had more development from turning into this snarky little spoiled asshole to kind of on the same level of where Kobe is. It's just how they changed, because Kobe was more confidence that he was building on, and then Helmeppo was just more on like how he treated people, from being an asshole to actually being nice and working with people. So different levels, but yeah, they're pretty close. Kaya, I'd say C. To me, she wasn't much of a pivotal or highly interesting character. I mean, she didn't have a lot. She's involved for 2 episodes, but she was like the victim of the situation of the storytelling, because it was like Usopp's kind of love interest, but she was that character that something had to happen to that involved all the other main characters around to help them. But she is higher than Alvida. I mean, Alvida was barely in it at all. Yeah, so Kaya, I mean, nothing against Kaya. She's a great gal. We go way back. But she's just sea level for me. Can't really explain it. Was it Clawdor? Cloudor? I I want to put him high B because I thought he was a pretty good villain too, and I liked the whole concept of a horror episode. Hopefully I'm not saying horror when I'm trying to say horror. My my R's are just so bad, but horror episode. Like, I liked him a lot because he was essentially the anime Freddy Krueger. Like, and it was super cool to see like having an horror episode for anime in One Piece. I wasn't expecting it, and I'm about to come up on the Syrup Village arc in the anime, so I'm definitely interested to see how that compares to the live action. But I thought he was a pretty good villain. You know, he was pretty villainous, and like he killed Mary the goat, or the sheep. He killed Mary the sheep and was like poisoning Kaya this whole time. So like, he was a pretty good bad guy, and he had cool abilities, the super speed, the wicked Freddy Krueger claws, and just how he was trying to hunt Kaya down throughout like her mansion house at nighttime, locked down. Cool concept, and I just think the actor did a great job like playing the role of the butler villain. So I would say high B. Luffy, without question, he's S tier. I'd say right behind Buggy. Overall, for entertainment aspects, Buggy's my top one. But in general, main character and everything, Luffy's right behind him. Super funny, super charismatic, super like welcoming to people, and like so supportive to like support all of his fellow comrades and just people in general, like supporting them for like, not like he's not supportive of bad guys, like, oh, you want to commit genocide, go for it, man. If that makes you happy, go do it. He's not like that. Like he's very ambitious and supportive of people to do ambitious things. Like he wants them to reach their full potential, and he'll help them along the way. So I really like that as a character, because I like to think of myself as pretty ambitious and opening and everything. I'm not anywhere near Luffy is, but like, so he's a great, nice guy, and he's super strong. Like he's able to handle his own. He's the glue of his crew, and he tries to keep everyone together. And one thing I liked throughout the live action series is watching him watch other people, not in a weird way, but like the situations, like you see those memes or whatever, where like some crazy events going down and like tons of people have their phones out, they're taking pictures, and then there's that one person, no phone out or anything, they're just there taking in the moment and enjoying it. That's what Luffy does. That's what Luffy does when like all of his friends and crew are laughing and having a good time. Like he's just sitting there looking at everyone, taking it in and appreciating it. So I like that a lot. Yeah, he's a really nice, cool guy, and he's super badass. The voice actor, not the voice actor, the actor is amazing for him too. Like he has great range from being lighthearted, silly, goofy, to like very serious, I'm about to fuck you up type of shit. So very great actor with his range and everything, and his yells for his attacks, especially close to the end of the season one, when like the fights were more serious. Like his yells were so good, like yelling rocket to fight Garp and yelling battle axe. That battle axe, man, freaking gave me goosebumps every time he screamed it. It was so good. So yeah, Luffy's S. Mihawk, I think he's right behind. I don't know. Let's see. I'm rethinking about all this. I'm gonna say Garp is front of Arlong, and Mihawk is front of Arlong, because I like Garp a lot too. Just because like he has that, he's in a tough situation because he's the vice admiral of the Marines, and his grandson is trying to achieve being king of the pirates. So that puts him in a sticky situation of making like trying to look out for his grandson to make sure like he doesn't fucking kill himself, but also like dealing with the Marine side, making sure none of them kill his grandson, but also making sure like he's not in a weird sticky situation of having to like defend the Marines from Luffy or defending Luffy from the Marines. So it definitely sticky situation. So, and then to Mihawk, dude, Mihawk's a badass. As soon as his episode introduction, I was sold. The guy's a badass. The guy's a beast. He's super awesome. Aesthetically, his voice, the actor is great too, and just his abilities, very great. And I thought Mihawk was gonna be like a bad guy, but he's not. He's like in the middle. He does his own thing, but he doesn't seem villainous. You know, he doesn't seem like he has evil intent. So I like him a lot for that. Like, I think he hunts some people for bounties, but to an extent, he doesn't have evil intent. Because like his fight with Zoro, he understood the type of guy Zoro was, and he let him live because he respected him. And then he was like, "Hey man, you want to get better? I'll train you." Or just he's like something like train and get better, and then come fight me. And then like he let Luffy go, even though Garp sent him to go after Luffy. He was like, Luffy, go do your own thing, because you're a pretty interesting guy, and I'm curious to see like what you're able to accomplish. So I do like Mihawk a lot. He does not seem like a villain, and I don't know if he is later on in the anime. I don't think so. I mean, he is a warlord, so he's definitely a badass, but definitely interested to see more about him in the anime past where we currently are in the live action. Axe Hand, I'm gonna put it right here. He's just a corrupt marine, nothing too crazy for storytelling. He's more involved in Alvida and had like some interesting he had a decent fight with Zoro and Luffy, and it was pretty cool. I like the concept of his axe hand, but him in the anime was a lot cooler. The fight scenes were a lot cooler, and just how he used his axe abilities were super cool. But we're talking about live action, you know. I'll keep it live action. I think mid C. Like, he wasn't a crazy villain. I think he was a better villain in the anime than he was in the live action. But I think he did his part. But just the silly, corrupt marine who raised the spoiled brat. And I feel the bad parenting was on him for Helmeppo's outcome in his youth. So, yeah. And then Nami. Dang. I don't know. She might be... Ooh. She's got a great backstory, great character, very complex, very realistic too, because a lot of people that have that cold front and they hide like their dark, sad past, and they have a lot of secrets, you know, a lot of secrets that you don't want to reveal because you could feel weakened by being more open with people, and you're trying to do the right thing, but you don't want anyone to know, to avoid having them being involved or being hurt. So you hurt yourself to keep yourself alone in order to prevent anyone else from being hurt, and then trying to help them down the road. So yeah, totally get Nami's character and her past, and her actress, amazing job doing it too. Like, great job with the range and emotions. I feel overall though, she's a pretty serious character in the live action compared to so far what I've seen in the anime, but she has those moments where she does laugh a little bit, and that's like with the group and everything. But overall, I think she was a great complex character, and then she like really opened up her past in the last episode. And it was good too, because like every time Luffy stood up for her, like you could see how emotional she got, because she's not used to that friendship and teamwork and like people being by her side to like really help her and look out for the good for her, like her best interest. Because she was like very independent since she was a child, so she had to be used to being alone and being cold to get what she wanted and needed, because she lost her mother and all that shit, so she had to work for Arlong. So definitely not used to all that love and like affection and friendship from her crew. So, and it's good because like and it shows every time like Luffy stood up for her or like shit happened, like she really expressed her emotions on how she cared. So good character development and growth for her in terms of opening up and with like her crews and friends and being more expressive. So yeah. Sanji, gosh, my little dessert Sanji, I would say he's right behind Nami. He has a good complex background story too, and I like him a lot because I resonate with Sanji a lot more, because like he has that tough love relationship with Zeff, and like that's for the not anymore, but the past, a couple years ago my grandpa passed away, but that's from then all the way since I've been a kid. Like him and I were like, my family was relatively close. Like we were neighbors. So like it was my parents' house, my grandparents' house, and then my aunt, her house. So like we were all relatively close. So I spent a lot of time with my grandpa, and he was like my father figure. But him and I had like tough love. That's what it was. Like very, very tough love. But like we really did love each other. We just always expressed it tough love manner. But like he taught me a lot growing up. So I feel like I really relate a lot with Sanji with Zeff. So besides that, Sanji's very cool. I love the accent. I love how flirty he is with people, and then just like his kicks, like his fighting style, super cool. His fighting style is badass, and the fact that the actor himself learned to be like get the chef skills and learn how to be a chef and all the fighting abilities was awesome. So very dedicated. I don't know. I feel like Nami and Sanji are pretty tied, because I don't know if Sanji would be in front of Nami or if Nami would be in front, because I'm more relatable with Sanji, but I totally get Nami's thing too. I'm just gonna say they're both pretty even in terms of my favorites right now. But and like Sanji, great range too. Like that episode when him and Zeff were yelling at each other from the ship to the Baratier, my eyes got liquidy, you know, they got a little watery, so I had to retain myself. But like it was the most emotional part for me of the series. Next would be Nami's thing, but yeah, I just related a lot to it. So I do like Sanji a lot, and he's super funny. Him and his banter with Zoro cracks me up. So I don't know, him and Nami are probably tied for me right now. Shanks, I'd put him right here, maybe. He's above Mihawk, but he's not above Garp. He's a great influence for Luffy, basically passively educating him a little bit before he departed. Like, hey man, not everything's settled on violence. Like, and you don't need to get like hot-headed about everything. There's a time to fight, and there's a time just to let it slide. And like how to like stick up for your crew, to have a great crew that sticks up for you and has your back. So Shanks was definitely a good leadership mentor for Luffy. So I do like his character a lot. He saved Luffy, and he was a badass fucking sending that giant water serpent away. I think someone called it, I think like the Ocean King or something. I don't remember. I'll learn more about it, but especially Shanks's abilities, I have no clue what they are. Don't spoil it, but I do like Shanks a good bit. I just feel Garp was more involved in the storyline of what we've seen for the live action of season 1. That's why he's a little bit ahead of Shanks. But I do like Shanks as a character, and I feel like he really nudged Luffy to be on that path he's been on so far. I don't know. I kind of feel Shanks and Garp are tied too, because Shanks is like the embodiment of Luffy. Not really, because Luffy also has the embodiment of Gold Rogers too. But like Shanks is the one that was like his influential figure, I guess, to like put him on the path of where he's going. Because like his main goal right now is to surpass Shanks, having a better crew than him and just being like the Pirate King. So like that's Shanks is Luffy's goal to pass. So, and that's a great role model too. And I felt like Shanks has led by example a lot to show Luffy how to be a good pirate. And he even told him that before he departed. He's like, be a good pirate, which was really cool. So I don't know, man. Gosh, I wanna boop. They're very close though. I think they're very close. Shanks and Garp. Usopp. Strong B. I like Usopp. He had a good background story. I mean, they all the main characters have to have a good background story, you know? It has to be sad and everything. It just sucks though, because his mom died of sickness, and then Usopp just fucking ditched. I don't know if they explain that later on in the story, but he just dipped on him. He just left his sick wife and child at Syrup Village while he wanted to go work on his dream of becoming a pirate. So, I don't know, a little messed up. But Usopp, I like Usopp a lot. I just feel like I need more screen time to really like him a lot. He has good comedic aspects, and he does a lot of storytelling. But I know it's just Usopp's character in general of like telling like, oh yeah, I did this, but like he hasn't done any of that shit. Like one of those guys who just completely rely on their resume, and then like when they're at the actual job, they don't know shit to do. Like that's Usopp. Usopp would definitely rely on his resumes and then actually get the job, and then doesn't know what to do, and then like gets frozen. So, but he has great stories. He's very comedic. I like him, and I like him a part of the crew and kind of how he's grown with that and working on his goal to be like a badass pirate. So room for growth. He's just not A tier for me yet, and he's above these three characters. Zeff, I'm gonna put Zeff a little bit above. Come on, it's just not letting it happen. I'm gonna put Zeff's ahead of Usopp, but not by a lot yet. I feel like Zeff and Usopp maybe have the same amount of screen time. I don't know, but I just like Zeff because, you know, like the whole rant I just went on about Sanji and Zeff and like the relationship with myself and my grandpa. I just see a lot of that in Zeff, so I do like it a lot. So I'm putting Zeff up there for now, and then Zoro for me is between Usopp and Zeff. No. Damn, I'm really thinking about this. I don't know. Let's go. Yeah. A lot of thought has to go in this. And you could think one thing right now, and then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh no, I gotta rearrange this. I think this is good though. So Zoro, I do like Zoro. He had a decently good backstory. He just had one friend that he fought with, and like they both agreed. They made a verbal contract to become the best the best sword fighter in the world. And she died by falling down the stairs, I guess. I haven't gotten to that part in the anime, but that's what everyone's saying, which is kind of comedic without it being rude, I guess. Like, she's gonna be a badass. How'd she die? Oh, she fell down the stairs. Like, well, that's not very badass at all. But apparently it's open-ended. Like, she could still come back, because it's a weird way for her to go out, and there was never a body burial or anything. But so yeah, Zoro's high B. Great fighter. Every fight scene he's in, I freaking loved it. It was amazing. But I feel like because I'm watching the anime now, and a lot of people have commented it too that I've seen, is like, he's pretty serious in this. Like, there's some moments where like he's a little lighthearted and like makes like jokingly jabs at Nami, but overall for the most part he's a pretty serious character. In the anime he's not as much. I only got past the Buggy island arc where they just saved the mayor and people, but so far he's been like more smiley and cheerful and like chill, happy type of guy in the anime compared to like how he's been in the live action. People said like he should be more like his anime version in the live action. Like, he shouldn't be serious or anything until after the time skip. So I don't know, but yeah, I like him a lot, and it's mainly because of his fighting skills. That's about it. Like, he had a decent past and everything, but overall he's a very strong B character for me. So yeah, this is my list, guys. This is what I think and how I feel about all the characters. I'm just giving a double look to make sure everything's pretty accurate. They're all so beautiful. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good list. Yeah, so comment your thoughts below on like what you agree or disagree with, where you'd place certain characters and why, because I'm definitely interested. That's the main reason I made this video and built it out, because I wanted to share my thoughts on all this, my perspective, but also dive deep into your guys' thoughts and perspectives, what you agree on, what you disagree on, and who your favorite characters are and why. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, comment them below. But yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and stick around for future videos. See ya.